So guys, welcome back to the channel. You guys saw my last video. The rears we maxed out, the fronts all solid. I need to go a little bit lower, but I think as of right now it's actually pretty perfect. And it looks pretty damn good with the red calipers. Woo! But the rears are maxed out and they do have a slight finger gap, and I want to lower it down to like right here. Hey Mayo! So I got a dog now. I'll probably gotta show you guys him later. But anyways, so the only way to actually lower the rear rim, especially on BCs, I don't know why BCs, they sell the coilovers with like the little extension on the bottom hat of the rear coilover, which for example is these. So I bought these brand new from BC because in the photo, it didn't have this. It was just all one piece without this. So my BCs in the rear currently has the same setup. And then the photo on the website fooled me that it comes without this piece. So I thought that I wouldn't have to pretty much like cut it off and make it shorter, because that's the only way to make these cars lower with the BCs. I think they have the extreme low, but we don't have that. And for some odd reason, we got these on the car and right here. What I was going to do is I was gonna take the ones currently off my car and cut this down. We could insert it back in and the car would be a lot lower. But I bought these because I just didn't want to do it. And I got 2 sets of these now. So these are brand new bushings. Might as well just cut these ones, these brand new ones, and then just take this bottom half, this threaded portion, and just unthread that one and put this in. And this rear bottom hat, or whatever they call this, I'll just have on my shelf as a nice display ornament, I guess. We're gonna cut this piece, and how we are gonna do this is, of course, with an angle grinder. So any guys that have BC Racing coilovers with a TSX and you wanna go lower than what this sits at, of course on any size wheel it's gonna be that height, you are going to want to pull off your coilover and cut this threaded portion. It bottoms out on the strut or on the shock. If I pull this out all the way, I don't understand why they came out with this design. Like I had function form type 2s, TNs, and they don't have this. We're just gonna put this on my computer desk just for a cool piece. What you wanna take into account is when you cut this to make the strut lower, or the coilovers lower, you have to take into consideration on this. And of course, how far down it goes in. It looks like it just ends at the very bottom. Make sure to have this amount of thread left, it appears, and you just cut shorter. My current ones are maxed out, so they pretty much look like this. So what I'm gonna do is cut like a whole inch or 2 off. We're just gonna make it like sit this low. And you don't have to worry about your car being stuck slam. They're bottomed out, so they're at the very bottom. And what you wanna do is just make this portion lower, so when you wanna raise up your car, just spin it off of here. So you're gonna raise up the whole shock body instead. So let's get to cutting. And of course, moving into this new apartment, I don't have an angle grinder. So I had to go buy one at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has this amazing $15 to $16 one that I've used for so long at my old place, and I've used that thing and never died, and I had it for a couple years. But I don't have it up here, so I'm gonna go pick it up. This is the same exact one, pretty much as they rebranded it and comes in a nicer box now. But it's called Warrior. This was $15 at Harbor Freight. It doesn't come with the cutting disc, but you can just go buy their set. This is 10 discs for like $8. They don't sell them individually. If you want to buy them individually, then you go to Home Depot and they're like $1 something each. I got a 10 pack. I'm only gonna use one, and who knows, these will just sit here until I ever need them. I'm gonna keep this guard on just because sparks, this could help guide where your sparks are shooting or flying. And make sure to always wear eye protection. I have glasses. It is better if I have the face mask, but I don't have it. And I'll be honest with you, safety is a priority, but I just don't have one. And all my life I've been cutting them like this. When you cut this shorter, leave this nut in. So after you cut it, you can thread it out and kind of like fix the threads, because if you guys never cut anything with threads on them, when you cut them, it doesn't line it up perfectly, so your bolt won't go in. So it's better to have the bolt in, cut right here, and just keep spinning this in and out to kind of like recreate the threads, kind of. If that doesn't work, then you have to cut it down a little bit more, smooth out until you can kind of get an opening for the nut to come out or to go in. I don't have a bench vise. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to do this, put my foot on it, and just slice away. And let's see if my dog's right here. Mayo! There he is. Hey, no! Do you want to come inside? So he is a Labrador and Husky mix. So he's a Lapsky. So cute. Look at you. Okay, bye. I don't want to be in here because he kind of gets scared of loud noises. And that angle grinder is going to be pretty loud. But I'm ready to lower this thing more. Chop that thread up. Like I said, I'm probably going to cut half of it. So it should drop the car a whole inch or more. Because, let's see, the inside takes like this much. So, yeah, I'm just going to cut it pretty much halfway. And I'm praying that it's enough. It should be enough. That's kind of like more than an inch. And this right here is like a quarter, not even a quarter, like 3/4 of an inch, or however you say it. So, yep. And I don't know if I showed you guys, but I threw my center caps on. And I got new lug nuts. These are my brother's old lug nuts. He barely used them. They're Project Kick R40s. That's why you guys can see these are my old ones. These are the Project Kick's heptagon lug nuts. So these are 7-sided. So they're for like security reasons. So 7-sided, you can't really steal them with a regular 6-point or 12-point. It's really hard. But it comes with a key. These are for sale on my Instagram. So, all right, but let's get to cutting. After you cut it, the main reason why I say to leave the nut in is because you can kind of chase the threads and make the threads work again. So, for example, if you cut it and you don't have the nut in, and you try to put it on, it's gonna have a hard time. But if you have the nut in, after you cut it, first just go back and forth a bit. All right, now it is properly threaded again. You see how smooth that is? Ooh, that thing's still hot, but let me grab the shock body. What? Hold on a second. There we go. That's it. Now, if I spin this all the way in, it should go until it bottoms out. So this is where it's at. I'm not sure if I should cut it more because inside here it's bottomed out. Versus, I forgot this one. Let's see. I think what I'm gonna do is cut it a little bit more because you can see this nut still has a lot of room to cut. And I kind of just want this to be bottomed out. So I'm just gonna cut it up more and then I'm gonna do the other one and then we're pretty much set. All right, that's what I'm gonna do for both. And I'm dumb. I could technically just cut it, like not as much because I just wanted to kind of have a thread still because it's gonna go inside. But if anything, you could actually take off the nut and then just make sure that when you put the coilover back in, tie in the lock ring, and just maxes out on the body itself, and that's it. For this, I'm just gonna take off the bolt on the coilover and just spin it all the way out, and then just throw that or spin that back on, and that's it. Hopefully I'll have to take off the whole coilover. Voila, final product. It's in there. Yep, I could take out this lock nut and thread it in more, but I think to be honest it's fine. And now we're gonna cut this off, and just look at that, the difference. All right, let's chop this bad boy off, and then they're ready to go in the car. Just like that, and that thing definitely is hot. So I'm gonna throw in some cold water real quick and then just test it on the strut, and they both should be good. But yeah, can't wait to lower the rears. After I lower the rears, I need to go get an alignment. I haven't gotten an alignment on this thing and I've been driving around. And after that, I bought polishing compound. It's all in that box up there, and I'm gonna go get a buffer, an orbital buffer, and then we're gonna polish up the paint. Because you can see it's kind of dull. Bring this back, I'm gonna wrap this black, look for a new trunk, and of course, we're gonna figure out the hood situation. I don't know if I wanna use this hood or if I'm just gonna get a carbon hood, but we'll see where it goes. All right, perfect. This is all threaded in. Kind of see it, but that's it. Now to just slap it on. Like I said, I'm just gonna do the threads. I'm not gonna put this whole thing in, but that's how you go lower on BC coils on a TSX. I don't know if any other car does this, but if you do, that's one way to get your car lower.